music business, the promoter takes all the financial risk in putting on a show, and so you have to be invited, basically, even to play here. A promoter decides to put up money to bring a band here, and then he hopes to make his money back and some profit by selling tickets. So the promoters are very picky about who gets on G3. So in a typical year, if we were really aiming, let's say, for 12 months from now, we would come up with maybe 10 different ideas, and we would quietly float them out to the promoters in the territory that we were aiming for. So let's say if it was North America, all the promoters that we've worked with for the last 25 years would get a phone call, and we would hear back from them their opinion. So we might put, Betancourt and Buckethead and Tommy Manuel, all these great players that all of us, as guitar nuts, love. But the promoters may not have such a good experience with some of the names on there. And they don't really care about if they're good or not. They just want to know what happened the last time they came through town. Did they sell 200 tickets or 2,000 tickets? So what we get back over a period of months is feedback saying, well, sorry, no Buckethead. We're not interested in any ticket with that guy. And there's always something, like a story like, oh, last time Ingve was here, he ruined the place. So he's not coming back until he pays, trashing the dressing room. And so it takes a long time to get through all that, but eventually we distill all that feedback down to a group that seems to be accepted by enough promoters to make a whole tour. And then we actually go out and we start asking these people if they're willing to do it. And then the next hurdle is, will those guitar players play with each other? Is that a problem? Yes, it is. Some guitar players, they don't like each other personally or style-wise. My feeling is they're generally afraid to they think they're not as good as that person.
Are you that way?
No, I always tell everybody the audience has pretty much made up their mind anyway.
Right.
You're not going to change their mind by wearing a crazy hat or a jacket or playing louder or something like that. So I said, just forget about that. The audience is like us. They just want to see what happens when a bunch of guitar players get together and play for the love of music, not to promote their new album. And that in itself is so unique that that's the event. It's not who's better. They've already made up their minds.
That's right.
They're not going to change it, So, but a lot of them don't think that way. And the business for years and years has kept like performers away from each other, so that the competition does not hurt the promoter. So it's better for the promoter to have Buckethead, Steve Vai, John Petrucci, Paul Gilbert, all spread out a month apart, so that the same audience can come back and buy tickets.
Interesting.
If the promoter gets 6 of the greatest guitar players all on one night, God forbid something happens on that night, where there's a television event, a movie event, a big game in town, a snowstorm.
Kenny Rogers. Don't make fun of the
tough competition, Joe.
It's so funny that you would say that, because I didn't know that was happening, but in the dressing room before sound check, I was playing Mad TV's skits on Kenny Rogers. Have you ever seen those? Oh my God.
Kenny Rogers jackass.
I mean, I don't really care one way or the other for Kenny Rogers, but I felt for him for that, because they just tear him apart. There's some cuts there. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so surfing with the Alien, man, I was, I find you're very creative. So were you like one of those kids that sci-fi kind of kid, or read a lot of those kinds of things?
Not too much.
No?
My parents wouldn't let us read any comic books or anything like that, so we were reading books that we didn't understand way too early. The effort for my parents to turn us into intellectuals. But I grew up at that perfect time when there were a lot of funny TV programs that were, kids take seriously, but they were sort of sci-fi studios. But I think I just got into science first and sci-fi later.
Okay.
The two, really good science and really good science fiction, they go hand in hand with each other. It's just creative people trying to solve some heavy questions with out-of-the-box thinking. So that's, I guess, my sense of humor sort of links up with that as well.
Okay.
So I can write a funny science fiction, as well as serious ones.